that it was on the YouTube. Okay. Okay, one more time. I say good evening, every one of you, and thank you so much for being part of this meeting. Okay, my name is the Great Sam, and I'm a peak performance life coach by profession, and thank you for joining us. Okay, tonight's class from my own time zone. So sorry if that's not your time zone. Don't get confused. Uh, we started up on the talk on the public speaking, right? We talked about different public speaking is not private speaking and stuff like that. And we also added to the fact that communication is not the same thing as talking because communication is a whole lot. There's a lot of things that are involved in communication. Talking, so talk is only but uh, an element in communication. Talking is an element in communication. You understand me? Talking is an element in communication, is in itself not the entirety of communication. So we talked about effective communications and stuff like that. And we actually talked about certain barriers to understanding or proper communication. One has to do with the issue of understanding. There is an understanding gap, communication gap between you and the people. We talked about self, we talked about environment, and we talked about the people, right? And I did mention three rules. I saw the assignment and I've assessed everybody. You all did very well. There are some persons that is it Okbo CNA? I just like what she wrote. It was very, very insightful. Naomi, the same thing. They wrote very well. Everybody did very well, and that was nice. You doing up your assignments. So we said there are basic rules that we are considering. Rule one says that people will buy you first before they buy your content. People will buy you first before they buy your content. We say that, right? People will buy you first before they buy your content. People will buy you first before they buy your content. And learn to create what you call impressions. Then rule two, the strength of your voice communicates confidence. The strength of your voice. Let me complete it and add it. Say the strength of your voice and gesture communicates what? Confidence. Rule three, take charge while speaking. Take what? Take charge while speaking. Take charge while speaking. Are we good? All right. Thank you. So, and this evening, we also talked about the futures in effective communication, some basic futures in effective communication. One is content, and the other is grammar, language, and the other is sound, and four, gesture, five, illustration, six, audience psychology, and seven, feedback mechanism. Tonight is going to be a little bit long night, so you have to get yourself prepared for it, you know. Yes, you have to get yourself prepared for it. See, I'm stretching my neck because I know what it's going to be like, you know. I had a very busy day, but God is on our side. All right. We will go straight to. I'm not. If you want to do the review, go to the YouTube and see the video. Gestures. Gestures. What does it mean? What is the meaning of gesture? When we talk about gesture, what do we mean by that? When we talk about gesture, when you talk about gesture, somebody's asking where was it downloaded? It was a complete content shared on this channel. We drop that post on this channel. We drop that post on this channel. So let me just drop it because listen, guys, let me warn on this channel, don't try to drop a link. Please take notes. If you drop a link on this channel, you will be suspended. You will be suspended. Don't drop a link. Added a bot for that so that all those funny guys will not come spamming anything. So don't drop link. Don't drop. If you drop link, it will be automatically deleted, and you might be suspended. Not might. You will be suspended. You know, until I have to enable you, or it's going to take you a few minutes to come back again. So don't, please. All right, let's move on. So for tonight, we are looking at gestures. You can use the chat box and write things out, you know, while this class is ongoing. So we talk about gestures. When we talk about gesture simply means the postures of communication. That's the simple way I can put it for you. Gesture simply means posture for communication. Posture for communication. That's what gesture is all about. Gesture simply means posture for communication. Posture that communicates. The gesture you take. That is what we talk about gesticulation. Gesticulation. And what are the major things that shows gestures? Number one is the hand, the hand or the fingers, the hand of the fingers, the hand like this hand, everything here, and the fingers. I'm separating it. When we talk about gesture, take note of that, please, guys. I like people who drop these things for me. It guides me also to know the points I've made. So when we talk about gestures, we're looking at the hand and fingers, the hand and the finger. Then we now look at the full arm, your full hand, everything. This particular hand, the full arm. Do you get it? How you use this arm is very important. I would explain. In terms of gestures, another thing is the shoulder. The shoulder and your chest. Very important. The shoulder, the shoulder, the shoulder, or the chest. Very important. Are we good? Are we good? And then in terms of gesture, we have the leg. Not very important, not very important, but I'm just putting it, but it's not that important. Then you now talk about the face. Oh, this is one of the most important. So when we talk about gesture, so summary, if you want to summarize everything here, is just the hand. If you look at it very well, hand and face. Gestures, necessary important gestures in communication is the hand and the face. Now, gestures simply means the postures of communication. That means every posture you take communicates something. Every posture you take communicates something. Are we together? Every posture you take communicates something. Everything you do communicates something. Do you understand me? Beautiful. If I do my hands like this, what does that mean? I am begging. What does it mean? Okay, I just said it. If I do my hand like this, I am begging, or I am what? Somebody respond to me. Give me an answer on the chat box, on the comment section. Good. If somebody says I can't hear anything, of course, you just exit and come back. If you do your hands like this, means you are praying or you are begging. Now, what does this signify? If I do my hand like this, what does this signify? With my fist tied up, what does it mean? What does this mean? Strength. This could mean strength. This could mean attack. This could mean defense. This could mean, stuff like that. Now, these are some gestures that you should understand, strength, protest, and stuff like that. So the hand is very powerful when you speak. Now, when somebody is talking and you see his hand moving like this, because it aids the person. Look, when I do like this now, it aids, what am I trying to say? You could tell that I'm trying to speak something from in out. So I could say it aids communication. It aids, do you get it now? So when I do like this, I am also expressing whatever I'm saying. Because the truth is that what makes communication powerful is expression. What makes communication? I saw my guy in front, Godwin. In front, if you're still there, kindly just drop a message now. Let me drop a message. Let me be sure you are there. One of the things that, and I think I saw Jennifer. These are, one of the things that makes communication powerful is expression. What makes communication powerful is what? Expression. Oh, no wonder you be typing everything. Good to have you. What makes communication powerful is what? Expression. Expression. Beautiful. I love that. What makes communication powerful? And look at it as I'm saying that. It makes what? Look at my hand. You seen it? I say expression. Expression. You need to get that these things are very important. If somebody talks with all his hand, talks in, okay, look at this speech now. I come and stand before you and be like, Let me get a text. Can I? Let me get something that I could just read. Okay. This is a book from my shelf, OPM, Other People's Money. Now, let me just read any random paragraph as if I am speaking. I just come and I want to read it up, and you just hear me. Look at my shoulder. Just watch me. Watch me. Let me take out this thing so you can see my shoulder very well. You can still hear me. I believe you can still hear me. Can you? Can you still hear me? All right, beautiful. Now, I just say this now. Okay, watch. I just come up and say, look at me. My poor dad often said, what you know is important. My rich dad said, if you want to be rich, you can be rich. No matter the situation, everything you're trying to do is possible. Money is not the problem. Capital is not just money. It's about knowing where you can get the money. Please talk to me. Is this convincing? Give me a score. 0 to 100. 0 to 100. Give me a score. I come now to teach you. I said today we are talking about convince me. Convince me how to speak, how to talk to people. It is important to understand that when you talk to people, let them believe you. Are you following? Can you imagine that? My goodness, if people have you guys are harsh. You guys are harsh. Look at the score. 5, 4, 0.5. Andrew, 0.5. In front gave me 20. 5, 3, 25, 2. Goodness. No, don't worry. I will get back at you in the assignment I will give today. I will get back at you. I will mark. Can you imagine? An evil princess went further to say 0.1. Just Kukuma put it as 0. You know. Now, how many of you can remember one of your class teachers? You know, you can remember one of your class teacher. How many of you could remember one of your class teacher who comes to speak and or a lecturer who, whenever the person is lecturing, it's like you should sleep, or even your pastor, a religious leader, anytime the person is leading, it's as if you should sleep. Can you remember? How many of you remember that person? Huh? You can remember. Okay, you notice how the person talks. Do you notice the problem you also have is that it's not just the tone of the voice. The gestures are weak. Oh, you remember somebody say a biology teacher. Somebody said taxation lecturer. Oh my God. Oh my God. Interesting. So you see that the problem you had was that these guys, they were just too dull. There were no gestures, because gesture communicates expression. And that is where people get convinced. Do you understand me? That is how people get the vibe. That is how people can connect with you. You are able to explain. You are able to connect. They're able to bond with you at a very strong level. Are we good, guys? So that's a very important thing to take note of. That's a very important thing to consider when we talk about that. So your finger expression. Now, this is the full arm, right? This is what happens. Now, listen. If you're talking to a group of persons, when we move to audience psychology, you will understand this other part. Now, when you're talking to someone, and notice, look at me. Okay, you can see my. Can you see me? Like to see me? You see me folding my arm. You are talking to somebody, and the person's folds their arm, and they are listening to you like this. What does that mean? You're talking to somebody, the person folds his arm, and is talking. You are talking. He's looking at you. What does that mean? What does that mean? Talk your own finish. Bored. He's uninterested. Very powerful and true. Yes, it shows the person is protecting themselves. It's more like a defense. It's more like a defense. So these things are gestures that matters. Putting one hand in the pocket and talking to you, it also matters. These are gestures that are very, very important that the hand operates. You talk and you use your hand and touch somebody's shoulder. It has a very strong meaning if you don't know. No. Do you understand me? If you touch somebody's shoulder, what you've communicated to people is that I'm above this person. While speaking, if you touch the shoulder, it shows that, oh, you are above this person. It's a gesture of authority, of dominance. It's something of dominance. You are talking, and then okay. I would like to explain to you now. Okay, imagine if you're talking to your boss. If your boss touch your shoulder, how do you feel? Normal, right? But can you talk to your boss and put your hand on his shoulder, and you're talking to him, you now touch his shoulder? Now I want you to understand that naturally, your shoulder is a symbol of what? Authority, just like the head. The shoulder is a symbol of authority. And that is why when people walk and don't know how to chest out when they walk, when you sit and you sit like this and you tuck yourself, your back in, it shows some levels of weakness. Yeah. So you sit, you chest out. Even if you don't have a muscular chest, like, and your chest is as flat as mine, you chest out when you speak. Let your shoulder, your shoulder blade, that is your clavicle and your scapula, this bones here called the clavicle and the scapula, let it be straight, let it be stand, let it be strong, not drop. Look at me. Not that I'm not saying you should start be moving like this, or in the name of confidence, I'm not saying, some people say, GreatSam say we should be moving by confidence. You now do like this and begin to move and say, now you understand me. I didn't say this, please. But you should be able to carry yourself high with dignity, because it shows the confidence. These things will affect you also. These are the things that you can do, and you will kill stage fright at once. I'm just telling you guys, we'll get there. Do you understand me? So you just move and you talk, your shoulder high, breath control, tuck your stomach in. Not that you will just leave your stomach and forget it, boom, and the stomach will shoot out. Breath control, very important. So now we talked about the shoulder, we're talking about the chest. Do you get it now? Now we're talking about the arm. You are talking to people. For example, if people are talking to you, you are giving a lecture, and some persons are talking to you, and maybe they're asking questions, and you put your hand like this and you're listening. If you storm into a lecture and somebody's talking, and you watch somebody standing and his arm is like this, you can guess in your mind that should be the teacher, or that should be the lecturer, that should be the teacher, because his posture communicates that. Do you understand me? It shows that you are in charge. It shows that you are comfortable and you are calm. Are you with me, guys? Are you with me? Are you with me? So beautiful. 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 So, but the leg, of course, is not that so important. Where you talk about the leg is terms of motion, how you walk. You don't walk dragging your feet on the ground. No, walk confidently. If you're a woman and as a man and you're walking on the tile floor, you don't need to walk as if you are scared. One of the ways you walk in confidence is that, you see that caw sound? Not that it becomes too loud. It's very important. I'm not saying you'll be stamping your feet while walking, like as if you're marching. No, you walk confidently. Take care of your steps. Mark your steps when you walk, when you work. There are certain gestures and postures for women. I wish I could teach it. But when I teach etiquette, it's another thing. There are certain postures women take when they speak, and it's so powerful. And that's one of the courses I teach. It's a masterclass on that. That is when I teach on the act of manipulation, how to seduce your audience. The word seduce here, I'm not using it in terms of sexual seduction. No, I'm using it in terms of getting their attention, full wrapped. Just like a woman would charm a man, that's how you could charm your audience. Do you understand me? There are some other things there that I cannot teach in this class. Yes, I can't. Someone will be like, but why? I can't teach it in this class. Yes, because number one, there are people I teach that, and there are certain conditions I look at before I teach that, before somebody uses it in the wrong way. Yes, somebody might use it in the wrong way. How to get people stalked and possibly hypnotized with your words. Do you understand me? How you could just lock up somebody and the person is wrapped with you. So something happened. I visited some years ago. I was in my aunt's shop, and a lady walked in to buy something, a provision store. The The lady walked in to buy something. I started talking to the girl. I was like, okay, what do you want to buy? She told me she wanted to buy this. And I smiled and I told her, take it. And I started talking with her. Immediately she smiled. I know I'm in. And I said, take this other one. She collected it. And she started shouting, please, can you stop? Anything that says she takes, she will take. And she was begging me, please, can you stop? She was like, please stop now, please stop. And I was laughing. I said, this other thing will be good for you. She would start like, please now, please. She kept buying. And she saw me. One of the days she saw me, she said, not you. You will not sell to me. Please go. Now, it looks funny, right? It looks funny. I do tell to somebody, let me not just be in that shop. If I stay in that shop, you will buy. Except you don't have the money. I will trap you. Do you understand me? I will trap you. It made somebody who looked at me one day and said, one of my very close friend, a girl, while we were in school, she told me, Great Sam, thank God that you are a decent young man. Thank God that you are a Christian and a decent young man. If not, women, you would have done a lot of things to women's hearts. And one day my wife looked at me and told me that, man, your mouth is too sweet. You have a sweet mouth. Thank God that you are not a flirt. It would have been terrible for you. Because it's should I tell you something surprisingly? I wasn't like that too. I developed it. I developed that skill. I developed that skill. And so by studies and every other thing. So I don't teach it anyhow because it's a very powerful tool and it's a very powerful tool. So now let's look at the other side of it now. We talk about the face. Imagine, we are still on gesture. Can you imagine? We are still on gesture. Look at the face. The face is so powerful. There are about, I think, 6 universal facial expressions. About 6 universal facial expressions. I hope I remember. We have fear, surprise, anger, sadness, happiness, okay, contempt. I think we have greed. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there should be more. Okay. We have, let me add one more. Let's say envy. You understand me? Just look at this. And just let's take another one. Excitement. Let's take out this universal. When I call it universal means, guess what? All over the world, people's face don't change when they show this thing. It's the same thing. Irrespective of the tribe, it's the same thing. When people are smiling, they are smiling. Everybody knows how smile looks like all over the world. Do you understand me? So we have excitement, fear, surprise, anger, sadness, happiness, contempt, greed, envy. Is that okay? Should I repeat it again? Fear, contempt, surprise, anger, excitement, envy. Is it complete? Anthony, edit it. You can edit. Anthony, you can edit on Telegram. You can edit. You don't need to type it again. You just tap on it. You see edit. You add it inside. So we have, you are repeating envy again. We have excitement, fear, surprise, anger, sadness, happiness, contempt, greed, envy. Now, but relevant to public speaking is excitement, fear, surprise, anger, sadness, happiness. Very important. Relevant to public speaking. Now, when somebody's excited, what happens? Their full eyes are bulged out. Their mouth, sometimes their jaw seems to drop. Excitement and surprise are similar, but not the same. Not the same. Surprise is like you never expected this. Excitement is like, this is amazing. Get it clear? Surprise and excitement are not the same. Surprise, when you are speaking and people are surprised, it means, you know what it means? Can you hear me? When you are speaking and people are surprised, you know what it means? It means they never expected you to speak in that way. Maybe they look down at you. They never believe that, so this person is this smart. So that's why the surprise comes into play. Do you understand me? But that's why, yes, surprise. But excitement means people are happy, and are expectant of what you are saying. The next thing coming out of your word mouth, they're like, hey, they're excited. They'll be like, they are all wrapped up. Now, one of the things I experience when I speak in seminars, in conferences, even in companies I go to train, I do tell them, don't be angry that you did not write. It's a normal thing that when I speak, you find it difficult to write. When I speak, you will find it difficult to write. If I'm talking to you on one-on-one basis, I'm teaching a class, you'll find it difficult to write because you will just be wrapped up, especially because of my gestures. I can be so dramatic with my face and my finger and everything, So you just can't write. You just don't want to miss a moment. Right? Beautiful. So that's that. So excitement is different. Now, fear, when you're speaking to people and they are afraid, maybe what you're speaking to them is judgmental, or what you're speaking to them is putting some fear. How do you notice it? Is that their eyes are scared, their shoulders will drop. It's the shoulder, their shoulders go like this. They act as if they are running into their shell. You see their face acting in these ways. Do you get that now? Anger. Of course, you know how anger, the person's faces become fierce, their fist is made and stuff like that. And the people begins to agitate. You need to look at, when we get to audience psychology, I would explain this now. But for you now, speaking, you need to know how to keep your face. You need to feel so excited. You're excited with your audience. You have to show that you are excited with your audience. You have to show that you are happy with them. You have to show that if you are communicating something, your facial expression matters. You can't be talking about child molestation and you're smiling all through. You're like, a lot of persons in our society today have been molested. Children have been raped. Girls have been raped. Some boys have been raped. It's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing. When you see people I don't know. Come on, you guys are not following me. The comment is quiet. So, did you see that expression? Did you see the expression? I'm communicating to us about child abuse, and my face. I was smiling. Look at my face. Look at the picture. Look at the video. Look at the video. Look at that video. I'm saying, I want to say that I want to talk to us about child abuse. A lot of children are being raped. Statistics says that 20 children out of 100 are raped every day, and it's funny, and it's painful, very painful, and that these children are being raped. If you see somebody talking like that, and he's talking about rape, what will be your conclusion? Please tell me. What will be your conclusion? What will be your conclusion? Talk to me, please. What will be your conclusion? You will lose interest. Benjamin A says, I will lose interest. Somebody says, not serious. So Samuel said, not serious. What will be your conclusion? Let me see it. Let me see. I can say the speaker. Oh, good. I was waiting for that response. I was waiting for that response. Big Luther says, I can say the speaker is a rapist. He's a rapist. Yes. You will just say this guy is a psychopath. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Do you know? People don't believe your words. They don't believe what you say. They believe how you said it. Oh, that's rule number 3. Rule number 4, rather. Rule 4. People don't believe what you say. They believe how you said it. People don't believe what you say. Do you know, you don't even understand things by what they say. You understand how they said it. Do you know that? You don't even understand people for what they say. You understand them for how they said it. It's just like, take an example. I need you to look back to your university, primary or secondary school days. Now, somebody comes to teach mathematics. You don't, as when the man is teaching mathematics, you are lost. You don't understand jack. But the moment another person is teaching that math, you understand everything. But like, is it not the same math this man has been teaching since? And I could not even understand it. Oh, come on. Do I have witnesses here? So why? It is not what the person is saying, it is how. So people believe, oh goodness, the secret of conviction is the how. And the major element of how is expressions, gestures, hand movement and face. Hand movement and face. I want to say that what you're saying, you truly believe it. I want to be sure that what you're saying I'm seeing it around you. Do you understand me? I'm seeing the seriousness. You come up to say, you want to talk about, I train people to become dramatic public speakers, not statues, not a statue that is speaking. No, I don't like that. You know this, let me also bust this annoying story on me, that when you are speaking to people, what do? What do people say? Look what? Look above their head. Am I correct? How many of you have heard that statement before? You look above their head. How many of you have heard that statement before? When you're talking to people, look where? Above their head. Abby, you've heard that statement before. That is very, 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 very wrong. Very wrong. Very wrong. I don't know how people brought about that. You know what that teaching is? It means you now coming to speak to people, you are what? You are a robot. Just come say everything in your mind. Don't look at them. How can you be talking to people and you are not watching if they are following you? That is wrong. That is wrong. You need to look at the people, not the people you are talking to, if they are with you. Have you heard somebody speaking and the person is speaking? The person has lost the audience. There is a complete total disconnect, and the person is still speaking. Complete disconnect, and oh goodness. And the person is still speaking. Total disconnect, and the person is still busy talking. So eye contact is powerful. It's one of the signs of being in charge. There was somebody that made that statement in the assignment. In animal kingdom, when an animal stares into the eyes of another animal, there's going to be a fight. When the other animal doesn't want to fight, guess what? It avoids eye contact. It bows and avoids eye contact. Why are you mentioning this man's name now? Leave your echo lecturer alone. My goodness. I will call the name of this man. I don't know who is going to listen to this recording. If I'm going to call the name of this man, I will call the name of this man plus your maths number and everything. But let me spare you that. Okay. Do you understand me now, guys? You understand what I'm saying, people? Good. So, looking into people's face is powerful. Look at them. Look at their face. Communicate yourself. Do you understand me? People believe you on how you said it. The how. You know, I still remember, I want every one of you now to remember your primary school. Go back to your primary school. Go back to your primary school. Go back to your primary school. Now, can you remember a particular teacher and one of his topic? Do you notice you could remember that topic because of an event? Something happened around it while he was teaching. I could remember my primary 2 teacher, Uncle Mentus. All the things that man taught me, I can't remember. Of course, we applied it, but to remember one specific thing. But I could remember one, the day he taught us on communicable diseases. Communicable diseases. He now said, he was teaching it, he now bent and said, some of you will go to some places to go and poo. He now bent down and said, you are pooing, poo, poo. We laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. Do you guess what? I cannot forget communicable diseases because of that expression. That drama. Other Gloria, is your network okay now? How about now? Are you with me, guys? If you're with me. So can you remember, there's one particular teacher, you are remembering him or her because of the way the person was teaching. The way the person was doing the talk and the way the guy communicated, you could remember that teacher. Because of the expressions around the teacher. Can you remember? So it is how you say it that is the conviction. It is how you say it that is the conviction. Yeah. How you said it, that is the conviction. Right? So your facial expression goes very well. Watch this. Watch this. Let me talk about love. I want to talk about love. Listen. And give me a score. Give me a score. Give me your own honest score. I want to talk about love. And to a church or to a gathering, I'll come up and I'll be like, who can tell me the most abused word, the most used word, and the most betrayed word? If that word was a living thing, I wouldn't know how thin it would have become because it must have been starved hypocritically by a lot of hypocrites. I speak of something that becomes the major, most used emojis on the social media, a symbol of the heart, reddish in color, and yet something that we all desire and yet finds it difficult to give. I speak of that thing that would have made a family become so beautiful, but unfortunately, the lack of it has caused a lot of heart pain. Some persons have already hung themselves on the trees or taken some pills just because they felt betrayed because of the lack of this one beautiful entity. And I speak about that subject matter. We all want it. And I'm talking about love. How much love do you have? That sacrifice of giving, that sacrifice of turning yourself, of even giving your blood if necessary. Next time you're about to tell somebody, I love you, think twice to talk about it because it is not just saying, I love you. The most important thing is inside of your heart. Are you ready to go the extra mile? Can you take a bullet for that love? The most popular color for love is red, and red is blood. When you say, I love you, it's a depth of commitment that you are ready to sacrifice even your life for that person. Think again. Before you tell me you love me, think again. Think again. Now, this might be like a spoken word, right? It might be like a spoken word. It might be like a spoken word. But what do you think? Because the truth is that the act of speaking, if you want to speak professionally, guess what you are studying? Oratory. You're studying oratory. Oratory. And oratory is powerful because of what? The poetic guise upon which it plays itself upon. I don't teach people to just talk. I teach them to become orators. When you climb the stage, man, oh goodness, my God, man. I could just remember days when I was in the, I remember my secondary school days when I went for a debate. My church organized a debate, and male boys versus girls, and I've been doing debates there, and we've been winning. And at this point, I've been doing it over the years. I said I'm not doing it again. Let other younger persons do. So somehow they called me that, hey, come and do it. Come and do. They said, come. And it was a large audience, a large crowd, male versus female. And I wasn't prepared. They called me less than an hour to the debate time. And other persons were prepared, so I became the third speaker. Normally I used to be the chief speaker, but I wasn't ready for them. I've been doing it over the years. I've been winning. So like let others do. So they still called me. My first speaker went to speak. My goodness, you know what? He started stuttering. And that reminds me, we can work on this. Those of you who stutter, if you stutter, that is you stammer. We can have a talk later. We can have a talk later. How many of you here, if you stutter, you stutter, drop a comment. Yes. If you stutter, normally you stutter, you stammer, you're a stammerer. We have anybody like that? Because we've seen the situation whereby very good public speakers used to stutter before. but they've overcome it. Yes, it can. So, and my first chief speaker came up and was stuttering, and I knew that we were in trouble. My second speaker came, and we were in trouble. Um, you know, and it was my turn to speak, and I knew that we already lost favor. It was boys versus girls. I knew that we've lost. So all I need to do is to vindicate my name. Let me just prove myself out. So I went for it. When it was time for me to speak, remember it was a contest about educating boys. Educating boys is more profitable than girls. This is so many years ago. So by the time I came up, to speak, this was what I said. Listen, listen. Okay. I'm trying to read some comment. By the time I came up to speak, I just came up and said, "Hello, good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeepers, co-debaters, and my wonderful young men here who are becoming doctors, engineers, people that are ready to take over the society, young men that are ready to rule over the place and take complete dominion over the parastatals and government." And the moment I started praising, guys, all the boys started shouting, "Yay!" Guess what? My intro gave them hope. My intro gave them hope. If your network is bad, maybe check out your other network. Some of you can hear me very well, right? You can hear me. It should be the network from your ends. Make sure you don't miss anything here. Try your best to make sure you join. Please let me get a feedback from everybody. If you can hear me, yes. If you can hear me, Grace Jonathan, yes. If you can hear me. Now, do you get what I'm saying? So one of please, those of you, if you can't hear, follow through. That is why some persons are dropping the messages, what we are teaching here, so that you can also be reading and your network will become stable. Then you can follow through. Are we good? Now, this was what happened. Now, I've gone to several debates. Even when I was in university, I go for debate. And the truth is this now, by God's grace, when I come in, no. I would steal the show. Because I understand oratory and not just public speaking. So I can be dramatic. I remember I studied philosophy as a course in university, and we did a debate contest, and all the faculties, then department did debate, and it was a very which of the course is much more profitable. Which of the course is more profitable? Do you understand me? Which of the course is more profitable? And by the time I wanted to speak, I said something. I said, well, I celebrate every other course, but it's so amazing that every one of you are actually practicing philosophy while trying to defend your cause. You are coming here making logical arguments and sentences while you are still coming to defend your cause. Well, the bottom point is all these things. No matter how, if you bring egusi, if you bring a vegetable, you bring salt, you bring oil, you bring all these things just to cook a soup. By the time you finish cooking the soup, what is the name of the soup? I get Betty. The name of the soup is not vegetable. It's not salt. The name of the soup is not oil. The name of the soup is egusi soup. So if by the time you finish doing everything you guys have studied, you all will still become philosophers that you are. So there is no point making this argument. You are all part of us, and we are actually the dominant force among you all. There was a shout. People started shouting, where, you know that kind of a thing. So now, learn that act of that oratory is very important. So, oh my goodness, it's 9 o'clock dot, and we're just talking about the gesture. Now, next on the board is going to be illustration. Learn to use stories. Illustrations here means use relevant stories. Use relevant stories. Jesus will always speak to the people with the use of stories and parables. Use relevant stories. Use relevant stories. Do you understand me? Relevant stories, historical context, activities, and stuff like that. Use illustration, and sometimes you could use your people, your seated audience as your own illustration. Please, the course reps, the class reps, ensure those who are having network issue try to follow them through so they can still reconnect. Is that okay? Is that okay? If you are having network issue, what you simply do is you can exit and come back in. When you exit, close the app entirely and come back to the app and go to the channel and join. Do you understand that? Somebody should type this thing out. I just said on the comment section. You can exit, close the app, and open the app again and come back in. Right? Good. So illustration is not much, but illustration has to do with you bringing in narrations, stories. People like stories. People can connect with stories, practical illustrations, practical examples. You can create examples, not restarting your gadget. I didn't say restart your gadget. Okay, if the network is general, you could restart your phone. But if not, you can exit the app completely and then log into the app. I would not say close the app. I'd not say what do you call it? Delete your app. I mean, you just go out completely and then come back again. You know how to minimize and close the app. That's what I'm saying. Right? Good. Let's move on. So that is illustration. There is no much thing here. It's about your stories. Then the next thing is audience psychology. My goodness. Audience psychology. This is important. I'm trying to rush everything here. Audience psychology. Watch the people's face. Watch their eyes. Now, there is one funny thing you do in audience psychology. Make the people believe that you are with them. How? When you talk, you can point your hands towards their direction. How many of you have been in a church or a garden and the person pointed hands towards your direction? You felt they were talking to you. Do you notice that when they point their hands towards your direction in church and says you are blessed, as long as that hand is your direction, do you know your faith is stronger than when the hand is pointing another direction? Yes or no? Yes or no? Please, yes or no? I need your comments. Yes or no? If the finger points your direction and says you are blessed, your faith is stronger because of that finger pointing at your direction. So you see that. So it is important to watch your audience, communicate with your audience, see the way they are seated. Watch this now. Some years ago, I was teaching in a business school. I went to teach in a business school, and I was to teach them strategic marketing. I was much younger then. Yeah, I wasn't. I wasn't married. Yes, I wasn't married. I've been married for 8 years now. But 8 years. My marriage will be 8 by next week. Wow, that's true. On the 6th of December, my marriage will be 8. Well, just yesterday. Just yesterday. All right. Thank God for that. So now something happened. Are you all with me? Are you with me? Drop a comment, please. Okay, beautiful. So thank you for the congrats. Thank you for the wishes. Thank you. Now, I went for the class. By the time it was a business class, and guess what? The people in the class were matured men doing very well, maybe business owners. You need to see them now, the way they look now, the men and the women. They were men, they were not boys. Women, not girls. They are dressing, everything. So, and I was to teach them strategic marketing. So the rector of that institute called me and said, introduced me and said, "This is the great Sam. He's going to be taking us on strategic marketing, and let's listen to him. Let's have him." So I came up and I wrote strategic marketing on the board. I greeted the class, "Good morning." They were like, "Good morning." When of course, that's why I say audience psychology matters. Guess what? You are talking to them, their hands are just on the desk. Some just stay like this. They are looking at you, or more like, what's he gonna say? Does the boy, what does he know about business? How much has he made before that's going to talk to us about our business? I'm just trying to read through their minds. They were off. They were off. They were not with me. So I wrote strategic marketing. I said, all right, we're going to be talking about strategic marketing. Are we together? And I know that these guys are off. So I had to switch to something else. And what's that? By God's grace, I actually know how to read people. I know. It's a gift. I know how to read people like book. I read you like a book. Yes, I read you like a book by God's grace. I just need to look at you and I know you. somehow, But so, and that happened. So I just looked at one of the men. I said, "Can you stand up, please?" He stood up. I said, "Looking at you, this is the kind of person you are. This is the kind of way you behave. This is how you react towards this. And you stand up. You stand up." Before you know, I went round the entire class. You know, um, Come on, let me just still stay on. You know, and I went round the entire class describing each of them. By the time I was done, the entire class shouted, "Sir!" They called me sir. "You were right. How did you do it? How did you do it?" I said, "Now, can we talk about strategic marketing? This is what we're talking about, marketing and psychology." And opened their notes and they started writing. And you can't believe some of them got deals because of that class. Yes. Why? What happened? I had to pull out. I had to pull out the rabbits. The magicians will always hide that rabbit. You know when to pull it out. You got to pull it out. It's time. Do you understand me? So, and by the time they took it, and the owner said they enjoyed your class. They were very happy with your class. They were asking for more. So, what do you do? Understand your people. Now, in audience psychology, look at the things you consider. Consider number one, age. Consider the age of the people. Are you talking to children? Are you talking to adults? Number two, consider the social status. What set of persons are you communicating to? Those persons who want to be out, please don't go out because of any network. Stay tuned. You will follow through the chat box, right? Follow through the chat box. Your network might get stable, so still stay tuned and follow through. Right? Okay, so what do you do? Consider the age, consider the status. If you are talking to very rich people, influential people, you say where you need to talk to them. And look at, you're talking to a young set of persons, youth. You know what to do. You should know how to talk to them. The same topic, but different approach to different folks. Are we building up? Are we building on this? Now, still on audience psychology, you also need to consider the comfort of the people. The environment where they are, is it comfortable? Because that affects them. The environment where they are they comfortable? Understand your people. Are they tired? Maybe you have to speak in a conference. First speaker is done. Second speaker is done, and you are the third. And these people are tired. You should watch them and know what to do. At some point, you can start up your class by telling them, stand up, do some exercise, jump, walk. All these things to keep the people with you. Are we together? So feedback mechanism. That's the last one. A feedback mechanism is always get feedback. If you observe in this class, I've always gotten feedback. I always tell you, are you with me? Give me some yes, give me some thumbs up. Follow me. Because feedback mechanism is very important. Always know, are you with me? It's a feedback. You could teach the people, you could just tell me yes. Say I can do this, I can do that, depending on the kind of people you're talking to and the program. You always seek to get feedback. Is that okay? Now, tomorrow I'm going to be talking about kill time, and then we're going to be talking about the practicals. Okay, let me just hit kill time at once. What is kill time? Means talking within the time given to you. If you are given 1 minute to speak, don't exceed 1 minute. Don't. If you are given 1 minute to speak, do your talk within 45 seconds. Do you understand me? That is it. Always don't overstretch your talk. People get tired and will leave you. Do you understand me? They will get tired and they will leave you. Don't overstretch. And when you speak, try to do everything to avoid when there's all this thing that they not carry paper and not come and give you. The moment they start giving you paper, you are losing your audience the more. Avoid that. Are we good? All right, I'm going to take questions now. I want to take questions now. You want to ask a question? Today's attendance is what I'm going to be considering. I may not forward SMSs to other people. That's it. So all of you that came around to deny that are still here, you're going to drop your name on the comment section now and drop your phone number with it. Yes. Drop your name, your full name, and your phone number with it. Your name and your phone number with it. Your name and your phone number with it. We're taking attendance now. While we're taking the attendance, if you have a question to ask, please request for the mic. You know what to do, right? I believe you should know how to go about that now. Are we good? You just raise up your hand and then I would unmute you to speak. I'm going to take maybe first 5 questions. Hello.
Hello, D-GreatSam. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And you?
Good, good. Where is your location, please?
Lagos State.
Oh, Lagos. All right, good.
Straight.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay. My question is on gesture.
Okay.
So, while speaking with someone, let's say, for example, a counselor, and you notice that. So, I have 2 questions actually, and you notice that the person is, while you're talking, the person is writing, and the
Hmm.
person keeps saying, "Yes, I'm with you," but the person keeps writing. I don't know what the person is writing. What do you do in that kind of situation? Do you continue speaking with the person or you stop? Then, secondly, when you're
Okay.
speaking with people, is it okay to take a break of water? Like you sip water, maybe your throat feels dry. So, is it okay to sip water while speaking with them, or you just wait till the end of the is it be seminar or the class before you do that? That's my question.
Hmm. Let me start from the last one. In the course of this class, have you noticed me drinking water?
No, you didn't.
Okay, maybe you did not see. Have you noticed it now?
Okay, yes, you are. Yes, I just saw that.
Have you noticed it now? Yes.
Yes.
The truth is that in professional gatherings, when you get a speaker to talk in professional gatherings, uh, are you with me? When you get a speaker to speak in a professional gathering, you have to get him water. Do you understand me? You get him water to drink so that he doesn't choke and your mouth runs dry. It's not good. So it's okay to sip water, but you know how to sip it. Make sure it doesn't drop from your mouth. You have to, know how to do that. It's not the one you don't stand there to gulp water. Bokro, 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 bokro. No, don't do that the way you drink from the house. You understand me? Now,
Yes, I do.
the other thing is the question: if you are speaking to a counselor and is taking notes of what you are saying, it's okay. He's a counselor. You understand me? But there are sometimes you are talking to some persons. Maybe maybe you are trying to discuss something with somebody, not necessarily because of counseling or stuff, and the person is distracted by writing or doing some other things. You need to either call the person to order if both of you are on the same kind of status. If the person is
Okay.
above you, all you need to do is to speak. What I do for me is that while I'm doing the talk, I want to get back your attention. I will use the pitch. I will reduce my voice, raise it up again. To just
Okay.
get your attention back to myself. You understand me?
Yes, I
Or
do.
as I'm speaking, I could just tap my finger, be like, so, and as I do that snapping of my finger, the person's attention is called back to me, and I pretend as if I don't know what I'm doing. That is because you're talking to somebody on a higher status and stuff like that. So it's okay. But let me say this now. It's also having learning to listen is a very powerful tool. Learning to listen. Some persons don't know how to listen. Don't know how to listen. You must learn to listen. It's a very powerful tool. Right? Okay. I don't know if I've answered your question. Have I answered your question? Okay. Any other question? Request for the microphone. Let me hear from you, please. Any other person with a question? Request for the mic. Just raise your hand. You know how to raise your hand. You go to the screen where you see everybody that is live. Uh, Princess, yes, go there. Go to the screen where you see everybody that is live. You'll see a big circle. You see a big circle. You see a big circle with like an image of a person. Tap on it. It will indicate that your hand is raised. Good, good. I'm seeing somebody hands up now. Okay, Grace Jonathan. Yes, your question.
Good evening. Good
Yes,
evening,
good
great
evening.
Sam.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good evening. Your location?
Good evening, my fellow students. Abuja.
Okay, Abuja. All right, good.
Yes.
Your
My
question.
question is based on yesterday's class, and my question goes to the rule number 2 says the strength of your voice communicates confidence. Now, in the case when
Louder, please.
you're handling a mic, okay, in the case where you're handling a mic and you're not able to hold the mic well, don't you think also it's part of not being confident with your
Okay,
handling?
thank you for bringing my attention to it. Thank you for bringing my attention to it. Mic handling is very important. Now, listen. Let's assume this is one of my laptop lights. Let's assume it's microphone. Uh, how do you
Yes,
handle
sir.
mic? Some people handle mic like this. Watch me. This is not very. It's not classy. It's okay, but it's not classy. It communicates to me that this person might be afraid, or this person is too serious, or that kind of a thing. How do you handle mic? Musicians, those who rap, hold their mic like this. They cover the mouth and they're doing their heyo heyo. But how do you handle mic? Handle mic by the body, not by the tail. You can handle your mic like this. Watch my hand. You can hold your mic like this. Even if you're holding like this, let your grip not be too strong. Now, some persons hold their mics like this. Now, bringing your mic close to your mouth also is very important. You see some persons they are talking, and people are not telling them, please use the mic, use the mic, use the mic. No, speak up so they can hear you. Put the mic like this. This is actually the best position for mic, like this. But somehow you can use this way, no problem. Depending on the microphone, you need to check out the sound. If the mic is too sharp, then you need to bring it down a little bit. So it's very important on how you handle your microphone. Do you get it now? And saliva
Yes.
control, I didn't say that. Saliva control, very important. When you speak, ensure, watch me, guys. Look at this point. Are you seeing the picture video? Are you seeing the video, guys? Grace, are you seeing me?
Yes, sir, I can see you.
Make sure you don't have saliva gathering here. Ensure you don't have.
Okay.
It is very irritating when someone who talk, and saliva now gathers here, and they are still talking. That is why you must always make sure your mouth is dry. And if you are speaking in a public gathering, don't use your hand like this and clean. Don't do it. Because when you do it, you touch saliva, and then you want to use this hand again to hold the microphone and touch people. There are some sensitive persons that will not take that from you. So what do? Use your hanky.
Okay.
Do you get it now? You can use your hanky. Wipe your mouth. Just that mouth. That's the edge, to ensure there is no saliva. And then when it comes to saliva control, I mean, if you remember, there's somebody, whenever this person is speaking, bullets are coming out from his mouth, saliva is pouring out. Why? And you are dodging. Huh? So what do? Make sure you swallow your sputum, your saliva. Don't let it gather. As I've been speaking to you, honestly, my mouth is dry. I don't keep my saliva stuck in my mouth, because when you do and the mouth is full of saliva, it will come out now. So saliva control is important. Now, I've seen some persons who, when they speak, when they are talking close to you, they'll be doing like this. They'll be like, do you that's a sign that you don't have control. I'm open to seeing what I'm showing you. Please give me
Yes.
feedbacks in the comment section. Can you see what I'm showing you? Some persons are speaking, they put their hand like this. I know of a man, whenever he wants to talk to me, say, D-GreatSam, because he's feeling that he doesn't want his saliva. And then the saliva will not rest on that your hand, and you start using that same hand and tell me you want to shake me. Don't shake me, oh. Did you understand me? So what do?
Yes, sir.
watch, make sure you swallow your saliva. And when we say swallow your saliva, it doesn't mean you will not make it obvious that oh, please don't behave that like people from Grace. Where's your village again?
From Anambra.
Don't behave like people from that village, oh. Do you understand?
Thank you very much.
So do you get it now? So please, thank you for raising up that matter. Saliva control, very important. There are some persons that when they finish using microphone, oh God, if they give you the microphone, you are in trouble. Any mistake, the microphone touches your chin. The microphone is already soaked, is already wet. Because there's no control. There's no control. Or someone is giving the microphone and the microphone is already smelling. No. So these are little things, but they count. They count a lot. So when you speak, watch your saliva. Don't ensure you are in control. Let it not be pouring out like as if. Thank you for raising up that Grace. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Do I have any other hand raised? Do I have any other hand raised? I'm not seeing any other hand raised now. Okay. If you have a question, you say some of you say you have a question. You have a question. I can't see your hand raised. So remember, if you are listening to us right now, drop the attendance, drop your phone number, your full name, and your phone number quickly. That's the attendance. Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Are we good?